All right, welcome back. Here we are. Happy expiration, everybody. With me most months and virtual is Thomas. Thomas, how are you this month?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's October expiration. Happy birthday. Your birthday's
Thank
October.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Big 3-6.
Big 3-6. Do birthdays in your 30s feel anything? Did you even
No.
celebrate? Did you even know it was your
No.
birthday until somebody
I
told
didn't.
you?
Yeah. Somebody had to tell me it was my birthday. Yeah. No, we didn't do anything for my birthday. It was we the day before we had a lot of other birthday parties to attend. So that was my celebration of my birthday, was celebrating a bunch of little kid birthday parties that I was at. So
Were you invited to those little kids' birthday parties? Or is that just what you do? You just sneak into your wedding crash style into
well,
little kids'
I wasn't invited, but my children were invited. So
I wasn't invited.
but I will say that I did take full advantage of celebrating my birthday somewhat with those birthday parties. I was eating, cake and candy and
Mm,
cookies, and you know,
good.
so that was good. We had
Yep.
the day before my birthday, we had two birthday parties to go to. So we're in the realm of so my older one in kindergarten, so she's getting invited to like the kindergarten birthday parties, like people in class. So it was
Yep.
a
Oh,
it was a good opportunity to meet the parents and the kids, that she's in class with. So
mhm.
because it's been a month or so, and so she comes home and she tells you, oh, this girl, this name and that name, and you have no idea who any of these kids are. And then so going to the birthday party was an opportunity to like put a face to the name and be like, oh, okay, that's who that kid is, and that's who that kid is, and get to meet the parents, and kind of get a feel for how things are going. So that
Now,
was that was
in your school district, they like those kids will be with your
yeah.
daughter probably K through 12.
Yeah. Yep. So these are the people that like,
You just
so
stuck with
yeah,
these people now for the next 13 years.
yeah. I mean, yeah, fortunately, the people that we met,
Surprise.
they're a good group of people, and they seem good. The kids seem nice, so that's all well and good. So like in our school district, geographically, our school district is pretty big, and I think there's like six elementary schools that
Okay.
eventually funnel up into the one high school.
Okay.
So like it's kind of all scattered around, and so those kids at that birthday party, like that's one class of three classes in that one elementary school of six elementary schools. So like there's a ton of kids scattered around that's going to start to funnel up into middle school and high school, and just get through that. So starting to meet all the other parents and all the other kids and all that other stuff through activities and things like that. And you start to see the same people all the time. So
Oh yeah.
um so yeah, so like last weekend we were at that birthday party, and then we had another birthday party to go to after that. Then tonight I was at another birthday party for for a kid. So it's just birthday party after birthday party after birthday party, which is fine.
Are
It's
you the
so
designated birthday party attendee now? Did that get set up?
now it seems
You're the
like,
one
yeah,
that
but
has to
well,
go?
especially because I'm getting to know the other parents, so the other parents are getting to know who I am. So this birthday party that we went to, it was at a place. It was at a place like that had like a turf field, and they had like bounce houses set up and whatever. So the kid's birthday party that was is in my daughter's class, and he also plays t-ball, and he also is in Cub Scouts. So he invited like the t-ball team, the people he does Cub Scouts with, and he invited the birthday, like the class. So there was probably like,
Big
I don't
time.
know,
Inviting all those
25, 30
people.
kids there. So
Okay.
so I walk in, and like the people that I saw at the other birthday party were there. So like I said hi to the parents, and it was good to there's the kids from the school. It was nice. It was like, okay, cool. But then there's a bunch of other kids running around, and one kid runs in, and it turns out that he's a kid that my daughter went to daycare with before kindergarten, that they were good friends with, and he plays t-ball with the one kid. So I knew those parents, and it's like you're starting to
It
see
turns
like
into a
how,
small world scenario.
yeah, everybody knows everybody else, and then you start meeting everybody else, and yeah, it's good. It's good though. It's a good group of people. It's fun. It's yeah, everybody's nobody's really mad about being at a little kid birthday party. So so everybody's in pretty good spirits.
Yeah, the parents have to find their crew as much as the kids will find theirs over time. We're
Right.
still working on it. I
Mhm.
outsource that to my wife. That's her department. I'm just the
Yeah.
the husband's fine. That's me. I'm
Yep.
like very typical in that regard. The other point that I always worry about is I don't worry so much about how I come off because I'm reasonable. I know how to behave in front of people. But
Do you?
I mean, strangers. But so
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is that it's what I was gonna drive at is it. it's this weird like practical applied game theory that you're going to interact with these people sporadically over time
Hmm.
as
Yeah,
opposed to just meeting them like once. Like it's not like you just run into them at the mall and you have, and you're never going to see these people again. It's like, no,
right.
you're going to have to interact with these people sporadically over the next couple of years, so your behavior is probably much different, you know?
Yeah, you want to put your best foot forward so that like they're not going home and be like, oh, who's that guy? What's up? What's with that guy? Like, why is he so weird? Trying to
Yes.
put on your best face and trying to be fun and social and you don't want to be the weird guy. You
No,
know,
you don't want to be the weird guy. You want to
no,
it's like being the drunk at the party. You want to be the second weirdest
second
guy,
drunk.
not the
Yeah,
person
yeah.
people don't want to be around, but maybe the person that no one particularly needs to talk to because they'll leave you alone.
Mhm. No, no. But so speaking of being the weird guy, so the birthday party that we went to last weekend, like the first chance of like meeting people, whatever. Um, the party was like a Halloween birthday party, so dressed up in a costume kind of thing. So I pull up to the house or whatever, and the car next to me, the kid gets out and he's in like this Lightning McQueen costume, and the dad is in like a pit crew costume. And then as
And then you look at
the
your
people
Lightning McQueen costume and you're like, damn it, one of us has to change
so,
now.
so I get out of the car and my daughter puts on like her costume, and then like we're walking up the
Was she
driveway, and
Lightning
then like
McQueen?
no, she was Moana. So she's Moana this year. But
Were you
so
the
then
rock character?
no, I'm
Uh,
not. I don't have the body for it, or the physique. I maybe I'll throw some tattoos on and see what I can do. Or maybe I should go as like the Rock the wrestler and just wear like a black speedo with some knee pads and just and wear a belt. That'd be fun. I don't
yeah.
think anybody would get it, but that'd be fun. But anyway, so as I'm walking up the driveway, the girl's parents come out, and the one is dressed up like Jack Skellington, and the other one's dressed up like a like a cowgirl kind of thing. Like, so they've got costumes on, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh crap, was I supposed to dress up? Did I like not get the memo? And then I see like around the corner, there's another guy dressed up. I'm like, oh. So luckily, like when I turn the corner, there's some other people that are not dressed up, but like it was like 50-50 where half the parents were dressed up. I was like, man, I didn't get the memo on that one. That was crap. I didn't want to be the only guy at the party like didn't dress up. Like, oh, that'd be
Stro-
awkward, you know.
strong move by the hosting family to, was this at their home? Like they're like, was it
So
in the backyard or was this at a
it
place?
was so apparently it
Going
was
to a
at
stranger's home dressed up as the pit guy from Lightning McQueen is a bold move for any
yeah,
dad.
bold move, bold move.
Like, you
Yeah, but
gotta give that guy credit, whoever did it. He's like, I'm just
yeah,
gonna
so
walk into this stranger's house dressed like a child molester.
well, it was a costume party, so it fit the theme. Like it wasn't weird, like I was bordering on the weird one, not having a costume on, but
You
it
could
was
have
at
said you were the
it was at
child
like
molester.
no, that's not
No,
um,
no, too
but,
far.
but yeah, a little too far,
Going
but
in hot. We're going in hot. We're gonna let's
yeah,
9/11.
but not yeah, 9/11. We'll throw 9/11 in somewhere, but like it was at I guess it was at like with the girl's grandparents' house, and like they had like a massive piece of property in the backyard or whatever. So they had like a tent set up and all this other stuff. And so one of the things that I was thinking about was like when you go to these birthday parties, you kind of like see how other people do things and like good ideas and like, oh, that didn't work out so well, whatever. And you start to steal other ideas. So when I went to this birthday party, I was actually talking to that dad tonight about it, and I said, so I said, your food setup was pretty good. He goes, yeah, yeah, that's it's something that we like to do. So like they had like in the kitchen, they had like station set up, but they had a hot dog roller that you'd see like at like a 7-Eleven. So like
Like it with like
what I'm talking about?
like a Sabret logo on the side.
Well, yeah, so it was like the box, and then they had the hot rollers, and it was just rolling the hot dogs and like cooking them. So
Okay.
like you can just open up the door and like take them out. I'm like, oh, that was a really good idea because like there was like 30 hot dogs in there, and you could just take them out, and they were hot and whatever. And it was like, oh, that was decent. Rather than
They
like because
own
how
it or
how
they rented it for the
so
party.
apparently, like, so I asked him, like, do you just have that? And he goes, well, my buddy does. So for parties, we just pull that out. Like he decided a long time ago that he just bought it, and for parties, they just pull it out and they just have hot dogs on there, and it works out really well. I was like, oh yeah, that does work out really well because they had a bunch of hot dogs out there, and because how else would you serve that many hot dogs?
Grill, order them.
Well,
There's a lot of options, pal.
yeah, but I mean, like, they worked out well. I don't know. I was
That's cool
impressed.
though. Good for them. You know,
I never would have thought to get like one of those, commercial hot dog roller thing. But then where do you store that the rest of the year? Like you use it for like what, two parties a year, and then you know,
that
so
falls into the dad flex of your grill setup, sort of. It's in
mm,
that vein a little bit. It's like, which
yeah,
if you're having your child's party in the backyard, and what is the big like flex item? Like, are you gonna have like a compressor of something, like doing some sort of thing? Do you have,
right.
are you the guy who, I don't know, I can't even think of good examples because I'm not one of them. Uh,
You don't have any flexes. You don't flex on the other dads. You don't put on your white New Balances and go out with your scissors and cut the lawn, and no, you don't do that.
I may in my own way, but they're not like so overtly, you know? Like one of my big flexes in the neighborhood is I somehow ended up with a second garbage can. You know what I'm talking about? Like, do you have
Oh,
like
yeah.
we have three garbage cans in total, and never everybody else in the neighborhood basically has two, one for recyclables and one regular. I have an extra regular, and so like I can just
Ooh.
like throw it all out there, and I can put a lot more garbage out every week, and it's like,
How did you wind up with the second one? Did you pay
well,
for
I
it?
mean, some palms were greased.
Ah, yeah,
Got
yeah,
it done. What can I say? I
yeah.
know a guy. I know a guy who knew a guy, and
Now, are they like the big ones, or do you have like
they're like the
two
ones where
medium?
like the one guy comes with the clip, grabs it, and then
Right.
like flicks it in. So like you have to
Yeah.
put
So in our
everything
neighborhood,
in. But you have to use that one to get your garbage collected. And I ended up getting an extra. That was my big flex in the neighborhood.
yeah. So there's in our neighborhood same concept, but some people have smaller ones and some people have bigger ones.
Hmm.
So depending on so we have bigger ones. So the question is, are they all the same? Are they like bigger, like I guess on 40-gallon drums? But like, do you have two big ones, or do you have like a big one and a little one? The same size is what I'm getting at.
All of mine are the same size in our neighborhood.
Hmm, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that comes in handy, especially at like a party or something.
Or like around
But yeah, that
Christmas
is that is
time,
that is a big deal. Yeah, when you have like the overflow and you're like really
all the
trying to
all the
to get it.
styrofoam and crap from
Mhm.
Christmas, like that all got. So we get rid of all that
Take
very, very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, take like 3 weeks to kind of run through it.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. We used to have a really good garbage collection where like you could put all the stuff out there, but then if you had excess, or they would like take like one big bulk item a week or whatever. So you could just leave a big, you could kind of leave like a big pile of stuff out there, and they would just toss it in. And then they started cracking down on that because people started taking advantage of it. So it's like, no, if it's not in the bin, you can't get rid of it. Like, that really stunk when they did that. Because like when you had those big
I
hauls, like
thought
you could
this
just
was
leave bags out.
America.
Yeah, right. You just leave bags out there and they would just pick them all up. And then now it's like takes you like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to kind of cycle through that. And it's like, oh, it's pain in the butt. Or you're like looking in your neighbor's trash cans like that. And they're like, hey, can I pop something in there? Just to get it done.
Well, that's what I'm
So
saying. Like, hey, dude, you got, what's it
you're the
worth to
guy.
you to throw that in there, pal? I got an extra.
It's like, yeah,
Five
so,
bucks a bag. $5 a
yeah,
bag.
well, you just, I'm just gonna leave this fundraiser swarm here, and
Right.
if it happens to get filled out, and your trash gets in my bag, well,
What's your? It's like, what's your email? You're gonna get a
yeah,
newsletter soon.
yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. How many candles can I put you down for?
Right, right, right. I'm gonna have some Gertrude Hawk candy that my daughter is
Yeah,
selling.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of the fundraisers,
the fundraisers, to the school's credit, here they are pretty upfront about the fact that if you just want to give us money and call it a day, we're good with that. They
oh,
lay it
good.
out pretty emphatically. They're just like, look, we need. I think they just they're smart to do their big annual fundraise right at the beginning of the year. It's
Yeah.
it's finishing up like next week. Like because
Hmm.
everybody's like back to school mode, everybody's settling in, everybody's in the mood to like get they open up their wallets to get clothes and
Hmm.
supplies and all that crap. So they immediately roll into the fundraising and they lay it out for you. They say like we need I think it was like $65,000 to raise to cover these things because this plugs that budget gap. And if blah, blah, blah. They lay it all out for you and they're just like, look, if you want to like have your kid go around with nickels and dimes and try to collect it, that's cool. Or you just like write a
Give us money.
check and then for whatever you think you can do, here's the things like a fundraiser, like a the telethon type of fundraiser. It's like
Yeah.
your kid will get a t-shirt if you give this much. Your kid will get a t-shirt and their name up on the loudspeaker thing. Like they just make
Yeah.
up prizes and stuff and they get it all done. It's done before Halloween and then it's fine.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, at least they're pretty transparent with that, and they tell you like, hey, this is what we're using this for, and this is how much we need. Yeah, that's good. At least gives you the goal, and it's like, all right, this is what we're contributing, and this is what we're doing.
Right, right.
Because
And
rather than
it's
just be like,
reasonable
oh, this is a
things
black
too. I think
box.
they basically made the pitch. They said like, look, we're plugging the gap on the electrical. We're going over to all the classrooms and we're like replacing all like the crappy smart boards that like got broken over the years and you're just getting all new. Like that's what it's for. And it's like, okay,
Right.
cool, I get it. Fine.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Rather than just being like, hey, we're fundraising for this random offshoot thing. And, like, that was the thing with our school that, like, it just so many, like, little one-off fundraiser things. It's like, I don't know what this is for, or who this is benefiting, or what the money is going towards. I'm just like, all right, whatever, you know. So the, they hit us with like a bunch of them right in the beginning. One was the parent teacher organization runs a lot of these fundraisers, and like they distribute, I guess, the money to like different organizations within the school, like the theater program and the whatever program and the this program and that program. So they they uh they sent one home. It's like a pretzel fundraiser. So like Philly pretzels. So like
The
if you just
pretzel factory place, like
yeah
like the
yeah
brand, like the place. Yeah,
yeah
yeah.
yeah. So like I guess like it's one of those things like every month they'll have like pretzel day, and it's like if you pay for all the pretzels up front, like whenever pretzel day comes along, your kid gets a pretzel or whatever. So it's like, all right, here's that money, just whatever, because you know you don't know what's important, you don't know what isn't important, because like it's like, okay, are all the kids gonna get a pretzel, and then like your kid's gonna be the only one not getting a
Hmm.
pretzel? It's
It
like
is it is an excellent form. I was gonna bring it up, but it is an excellent form of like soft blackmail, kind of a like there's a deliberate model for it, and it's escaping me when oh, it's called, I think it's called the Little Bighorn. The Little Bighorn is where like you try to get everybody else and
to do something,
then you make the one you really want have to conform. It's something
right?
like that. I'd have to look it up. I'll put it in the notes. But 100%, yeah, because you just like you don't want your kid to be the one left out.
Right, yeah,
That's really
exactly. You
what it
don't, yeah,
is.
it's
And
like,
they know that, so they designed it that they design if I give $100, she gets her name on like the
right,
screen or whatever. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, okay. You get like
yeah, I got
the
you.
yeah, so then it's can I
Yeah,
get
and
my
you
name
have
on the
no idea.
screen?
No,
I,
but you have no idea what's important and
yeah.
what isn't important. You have no idea how the kindergarten social dynamics are going to play out throughout the year. And is pretzel day the big day? You have no idea. It's like what is it? In the office, or is it like is that what it is? Is pretzel day, or is it like ice cream day? I forgot what it is in the office, where like they're waiting and it's like the biggest day of the year, and Stanley's super
Oh, it's
excited to
pretzel
get
day on the office.
yeah
Yes. Stanley
yeah.
on pretzels. Hmm.
So it's like you have no idea if pretzel day is going to be pretzel day at kindergarten. They're all getting their pretzels, and it's going to be the thing. You have no idea. So,
The
but
yes, I know. We had a big thing because they moved pizza to Tuesdays and like our
mm,
entire our minds were
your
blown.
world
They
up.
moved pizza
Yeah,
day to Tuesdays, and it was like, what
it's
the hell are we supposed to do? How dare
well,
you?
so our school district has like a rotating lunch menu. Like it's not the same. It's not like a Monday is this, Tuesday is that, Wednesday. It's just like you have to like look it up every week and see what's there. So the other, and they have some interesting options. So they had poutine as one of the dishes, as like that was the lunch. It was just like I was like, okay, that's interesting. So Emma, my daughter wanted to try it, so she's like, okay, you can buy lunch and you can have poutine. See how you feel about that.
Just so
And
we're clear, what is that?
it's French fries with gravy and cheese curds.
Say it again.
French fries with gravy and cheese
Okay.
curds.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
You've
been
never had
able to define that 30 seconds
you don't know
ago.
what poutine is? Oh, really?
No,
Oh man,
no.
it's pretty
I
good.
never knew. I lived
It's
in Philly for like 2 years. Never crossed
well,
my.
poutine is a Canadian thing.
Well, that's probably why, because I was in Philadelphia and up there in Canada.
Yeah,
I
I
see.
don't know.
That explains. So that's proof positive that I had no idea what you're just saying kind of a smutty word and then saying your daughter was involved
Yeah,
with it, and
yeah,
I
no,
was like,
it's
what?
it's like it's like yeah, it's just like it's a Canadian thing. It's kind of like
Leave it to
so
them.
Wisconsin has like cheese curds and stuff, right? So I guess
Okay.
somebody had the idea to put French fries in gravy and then put cheese curds in there and just mix it all together, and it's just a delicious treat. It's
Okay.
super fat, but it's so
Fair.
good.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this was the first time I've ever heard of such things. So I'm glad
I
you
highly
enlightened
recommend it if
me.
you're.
You enlightened me. Thank
Yes.
you, sir.
Yeah. Oh man. So they actually opened a poutine place in Bethlehem.
I think you're
Yeah.
just saying poutine now because you enjoy the word. But all right, go
Well,
on.
it's
Tell
it's
us about the
delicious.
poutine in Bethlehem.
Well, no, so it's called like it's like a chain. So it came down from Canada. It's called like the Flying V or whatever. And you can get like bacon in there. You can get like other toppings and stuff. It's kind of like I guess a Subway. Like you get your fries and then you get your type of gravy and you get your type of cheese and you get your toppings and you add it in there and you can have whatever you want. It's pretty good.
I believe
Can't believe
you
you've never.
when I trust that you're telling me the truth, but like 1% of me thinks you're just messing with me. That this is not
No,
that you're making this up.
look it up.
But because it
Take it
definitely
take it.
poutine hasn't made it down to the Carolinas.
Poutine. 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 Look it up. I can't believe you've never heard of poutine before.
I mean, not in the context you're referring.
No, I don't think that. I think you're thinking of something else.
I thought you were talking about something else.
Yeah, and that's what they were. Yeah, they were serving that for elementary school lunch.
Jesus Christ. You can tell we both had like a lot going on earlier in the evening. Um,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Yeah, so we're filming this on the 10th. Expiration is the 17th, which is when it'll drop, but we're filming this on the 10th. And for anyone who may have noticed, it was a long day in the markets, which is also part of why I'm just tired right
Holy
now.
crap! Holy crap! That was 10:57.
10:57 time of death.
Holy moly! Yeah, that was intense.
It's getting it. Yeah, so basically we're referring to President Trump announced that they'll tack on an extra 100% tariffs for China imports to the United States in response to a threat of export controls by China for rare earth metals. That's essentially the thrust of the argument, the headlines that came out. And that immediately sent the whole market tumbling, rightfully. Like what I'm like, have you heard about the taco trade? Do you know what the
Um,
taco trade is?
I've heard the term.
Yeah.
It's escaping me what it is right now.
So the taco trade is Trump always chickens out.
Mm,
So it's emerged this year since he did Trump's original tariff announcement back in April, and the market basically collapsed in the span of like a week. They coined the taco trade being when Trump announces some sort of adverse policy to the markets, meaning Trump says something and the market immediately dips, say 2% or 5 to 8% over a short period this year, everyone immediately starts to buy in under the assumption that Trump more or less tones
he's gonna reverse.
down whatever the
Yeah.
policy is.
Right.
So in this case, like the Nasdaq was down over 4% today on that alone. Crypto's all tanked. Everything was immediately against trend, hard on headline news. The obvious thought is you wait till after the 3 o'clock hour and you start buying up under the assumption there'll be some sling back
Right.
into Tuesday because we're also going into a 3-day weekend, the holiday. Columbus Day is on Monday, so or
Hmm.
it's the 17th. Today we're recording the 17th. So
Hmm.
we had Columbus Day weekend. So it was a good opportunity to just close out positions. It was like as good a read as any to take profits after the market's grind upward 8, 9, 10%. So I think we're gonna see another taco trade, is what I think we're gonna see. But it's still like ridiculous that that's a thing we have to contend with now. I guess that's my broader point.
Yeah. Yeah. It just whips people out of positions. It just
Yeah, this today it felt like a good as good a reason as any other to flush out some excess risk on positions, have some people take profits, have some people just close out things and rebalance. It really just kind of felt like a big flushing out of some excess. I did not buy into this, but I think like any short-term person, that's probably this is recording out the 17th. If we're higher on the 17th than we were at the close on the 10th, we'll know if I was right or not. And as we have found out, did you? I'll tell you another thing. I got feedback through the course of the month from listeners about how I got the Fed policy decision wrong.
Yeah.
If you remember last month, I predicted we'd see a 50 basis point cut. It was only 25. And people like messaged me. They're like, "Oh, you got it wrong." Ah, and it's like, "All right,
Yeah,
yeah, I
you
know."
did get it wrong. But
I did
I
get it
didn't get
wrong.
any
I get it. It
messages
was
back on
wrong.
Twitter.
I was really like taking like the extreme position on it. Yes.
Well, yeah, well, so then once you saw the dot plot and what people were like,
The dot
what
plot indicated towards 50. The
I
dot
think it,
plot
well,
moved substantially more dovish.
yeah, um, yeah, but I think that, yeah, well, whatever. It was only 25. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next time around
Mhm.
and what they're going to do and how
With
things are going to play out.
with the government shutdown, people are concerned about some of the October numbers for the BLS reporting, specifically inflation and unemployment.
Well, if they're going to
So
come out with
I
it,
only caught the headline of it, but I did say that there will be a, BLS report that comes out prior to the Fed meeting the end of this month. So the BLS report on the most recent data should come out, I think, the week of the 23rd, whatever. Yes. And then that'll be in time. So they'll have that information before they do the Fed meeting. I don't think it's going to change it much. I mean, it's, like they're just going to
yeah,
assume on trend if they don't get the information, but whatever. We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah, shut down. Not good. Not good news.
I'm very over it, to be blunt. Like everyone is kind of like it's almost not news anymore. 15 years ago, the government shut down and like everyone's like, "Oh my God, like oh, this is terrible." We hadn't had this in like 12 years or some odd nonsense. This happens every year now. Every other year.
Yeah, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's
Like
insane.
government employees should just plan their vacations around like
All those
October
shutdowns. Yeah,
because the
yeah, right,
fiscal year ends September 30th. They should just all start like planning to go to Disney World or whatever, or do you like, because they can't go to a national park, they can't go camping, they have to go to
right,
a private
right.
place. They should all
Yeah,
just
yeah,
start planning their vacations around October so they can get it for free and not have to use their PTO.
right. Exactly. Yeah, it's insane. It's terrible.
So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I have no real skin in the. I mean, it doesn't impact me to be perfectly frank, but I'm very fortunate in that regard. Uh,
It
I
it
also
the
don't
trickle
know
effect.
enough about them. I know the headline stuff about it, but I don't know enough about it to really like comment on who's like really.
The longer it goes, the worse it's gonna get. That's
Oh,
obviously
sure.
just that. But and the thing is, like, people can kind of stomach it for a week, 2 week, any longer than 2 weeks though. It's gonna get real bad. Because a lot of some of those agencies that are relying on that, like, they had a little bit of runway of, like, funding to kind of keep them going a little bit, and then specifically, like, some of the federal agencies that I see every now and then. Like, I deal with some, like, endangered species stuff. So yeah, so if you're doing a project and you're potentially going to endanger, like, if there's sensitive resources or something that you're potentially going to disturb, you need to get clearance from a federal agency, and
Mhm.
basically they'll kind of look like, okay, this thing. Well, if they're not working, then you can't get that clearance, and if you can't get that clearance, then you can't get permit issued.
Right. That's
So
like
that's
if anything
that's
is
going to
shut
be,
down in the entire chain of any
yeah,
project,
yeah.
you're just stuck
It,
at that
it,
state.
it's
That's yes,
well,
you're right.
and then what's happening is like those things are still happening, so there's going to be a backlog,
Hmm.
and for that log jam to get unjammed is going to be a pain.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that sucks. So hopefully it's
Yeah,
not too bad.
I don't know how it's gonna play out. I like what Warren Buffett used to say. There's a good clip that he floats around about how he could solve the potential government shutdown as well as the national debt problem by passing one simple law. And he said, and he's tongue in cheek, if they can't pass a budget or if the budget is over 3% deficit for GDP, none of the sitting members of Congress are eligible for reelection.
Yeah.
That's his that's his like solution to the problem. Is basically if they can't do their job, they're fired, which is a very like capitalistic argument.
Yeah.
Um, they of course themselves need to pass that bill into
Yeah.
law
Right.
in
Exactly.
order for
That's
that to
right. Yeah.
happen. So it's not going to happen. You know,
Nope.
it's
Yeah. Right.
but that was always the argument. It's like, oh, that should be in like the Constitution,
Right.
which is an
Yeah.
interesting
Nice.
thought.
Yeah. It's well, there's yeah, the people that make the rules aren't going to make a rule that's detrimental to themselves. So so
What's the
like
golden
that
rule?
yeah, that's a tough one. So
Golden
it's like
rule is, he who holds the gold makes the rules.
the rules exactly.
It's
That's
the
true.
golden rule.
That
That's
is the
it.
golden. That is one of them. Yep. So yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that that's happening, and sucks for people that are in that position that's having problems with that. But you know, hopefully it all works itself out.
I think the people who are, I mean, there's a lot of people who are hurting for sure. Uh, the actual government workers, though, I wouldn't be surprised if many of them do have like a little bit of cash put aside, knowing that this could likely happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that that's an
Yeah.
excuse. I'm just saying that, to the first point,
Yeah.
it happens so regularly now, it's not even top, it's not even like top of the news chain anymore. It's just like you know, this is like it's like a like B-roll, just oh, and by the way, this is still happening.
Right.
Oy.
Yeah. In other
I've
news,
never, we've only worked in the private sector. I'm interested how public sector employee, because I think traditionally you think of like unionized private employees and government employees is very safe. It's like, oh, I have my government job and I'm just going to be there and blah, 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 blah. Or I'm in a union, so I can't just be like, laid off. I have to be like, follow the union rules and stuff. That's a very traditional thought process, I think.
yeah.
These days, government jobs are not at all safe. Like that
No.
was this whole year has been shedding of government jobs. Like in addition, there's like tech and all the other areas that have been shed, but government jobs being shed feels like an anomaly in my adult life. Like I've never really experienced that. Like I've never heard that Washington D.C. was having employment problems,
Right.
that
Yeah.
area is falling apart because there's massive unemployment. That did spike earlier this year, and there's now more people who are out of work in that regard. It's a weird twist of fate because on the other hand, I've been in private sector forever and they'll let you go on a whim. I have been let go more than once and it just doesn't, they thanks, bye, go home. And you're just like, oh, okay, I'll just, see myself out. And they're like, cool, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And that's just the end of it. And you kind of expect that that could happen at any time. At least I do. Now, after my career path, which I have had. Um, so I do wonder how much stress and like PTSD some of these people get over it versus how many of them think that they're so numb about the uh repetitive shutdowns that we now have these days. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not in that sector, but I mean, I can't imagine, you know, that just be like, oh, I'm out of work for an indefinite amount of time. I don't know when they're going to come back. Like I don't know
Right.
how
You
you
don't have
deal
no
with
idea.
it. Yeah, because it could be days, could be weeks, could be you know indefinite. It's just
You
ridiculous.
could just be like laid off. That could just be it.
Yeah.
There's an entire effort now to just permanently, they're basically, what they're doing is they're stress testing the guy. I think the basic plan is that there's, for people who want to reduce the overall budget, they are in a very draconian way stress testing what actually breaks when none of these people are working.
Right.
That's actually
Yeah.
what I think some of
Yeah.
maybe the
That's what
plan
they're
is.
trying to do.
They're
Yeah.
like
It's
they're
very.
basically saying like, oops, like we really do
Yeah.
need the air controllers at the airports,
Right. Right.
But you
Yeah.
know who didn't seem to suffer? The parks department. Like whatever, like
Right. Yeah.
they're finding
Yeah.
out like where the real stress tests are. And I
Mhm.
think there are people taking notes on that right now. Try because
Oh
they
yeah.
I think,
100%.
you know, we are
Yeah,
in
it's a
like
shame.
this structural period where government trimming and government erosion is occurring. So I
True.
definitely think that's maybe some of the backroom cigar
Oh,
smoking discussions having been had.
oh, that yeah, it's not even in the back room. It's out there.
Yeah, it's pretty overt. Yeah, when it gets
It's
put
like,
on like social media, it's not like that
yeah,
like back
it's,
off. Yeah, I
it's
get
not
it. That's
secret.
true. That's a fair
Not secret.
point.
Yeah, so yeah, so that's fun. But well, that covers, I guess. Well, what else did we? The somberness a little bit kind of hits there. Talking about government and politics and things like that. That really brings it down for a bit. So, is there any good news that you got going on?
You know what I
Everything
did?
good going on?
You know what I did see, which I was also. I mean, it's good for that guy. Let's put it that way. Um, there was a thing coming around. It was a police officer, career police officer. So this was just like a whatever, TikTok or Instagram, whatever your video platform of choice is. Uh, Police officer, older gentleman, made the call to his 22-year-old son that the son was accepted into the police academy
Hmm.
to then become a police officer himself. And this dad was in tears on the
Hmm.
phone, so emotional that his son would get to take up the mantle and continue as a law enforcement officer. And I
Hmm.
saw that and I was so touched that he could feel so emotional about his job because I know that nothing on God's green earth would make me cry if I heard my son was going to do IT at a bank. You know what I mean? And I was just very aware watching this that there are people who treat their professions almost sacred.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I am not one of those people at all.
I guess well, I mean, also the type of profession is a bit different.
Right.
Like
It definitely boils down to the like I get it. There was like there like being a police officer and a firefighter and a like a doctor, even something like in the military, there's lots of lines of professions where to carry it on is such like a badge of honor and like this really heavy weight that gets passed on. I get that.
yeah.
But
Well,
IT at
a
a
lot of those
bank,
jobs
I
are
don't know. Like,
serving. Well,
mm,
service jobs are a little bit different. There's a little bit more of pride and you know, I guess it's a little more fulfilling than
fulfilling may be
than
the key word in the equation when you determine how weepy
yeah.
you'll get when you find out I don't run
When
Winterfell. You know what I
when
mean?
the guy
Like, I'm not
when the
like
firefighter is carrying out the little kid out of the fire and saves the kid's life, that's a different feeling than when you debug a program,
I don't even
sitting at the
do that
comfort of your own
anymore.
desk. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's different. I think there's a little bit more of a connection to humanity in some of those services where there's a little pride and a little more
A little bit
connection to your community and things like that, where you're just sitting behind a desk punching keys and not really talking to anybody. So it's different, a little different.
very different. Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably the big difference.
Potentially, I think so. But I
You know,
agree. Like I'm not like saying like I can't imagine myself getting to make the call to
no.
my 22-year-old son 20 years from now. It's the year 2045, and I'm gonna make the call to my son and say, "Hello, boy. It's your pops. You got accepted to the internship position at the bank. You got it.
But yeah, so your son, when he grows up to be an IT manager, you're not gonna call him up and with tears in your eyes.
He's gonna
What
be,
if he a football kicker? What if he was a football kicker and then like
but I'm
during
not
the
a football kicker. He can be a football
yeah,
kicker. That's fine, but I'm not a football kicker. I'm not drafting him.
but you don't think you would get emotional if he worked his whole life or and then he got that draft call? Like he's gonna be the kicker for the Carolina Panthers. Like he's gonna get
Might be
drafted in the
annoyed.
sixth round. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I can't say for certain. I can
Mhm.
tell you that nothing in my past has ever caused me to break down in tears because of an accomplishment I've had. At least nothing I can recall.
Hmm.
I'm just saying I probably wouldn't
That's a
do
good
it.
question.
It's just not me.
That's a good question. If you've ever been so proud of something that like you got emotional over it, you know?
I
So
don't believe that I got visibly emotional. I was happy.
mhm.
I
Yeah,
was proud. Did
yeah.
I break
Break
down
down
in tears at that moment? It's not like the end of
but
Rocky where he, 'cause nobody's ever put an American flag over me and I get to make a speech to like the world about my triumph.
well,
Even
then
then, I don't know if I'd cry.
you're not dreaming big enough then.
What?
You're not dreaming big enough then. You got to start doing things that are worthy of draping yourself in an American flag and giving a speech.
I, we'll see what
That ship
happens.
is that ship has
The
sailed. You're not gonna, yeah,
I, I'm just saying he didn't do it till Rocky 4.
it's true. Well,
We'll,
yeah.
the biggest problem that I see is it's the movies that do all that nonsense that make people think that they need to behave that way, and
Mm.
it's ridiculous. The issue is that it's really slow moving. When I graduated college, I was proud that I graduated college, right?
Yeah, that was the one that
But
came to mind. Is that graduating college was like, oh, that was a thing you did. That was an
because
accomplishment.
it's a
That was
slow moving thing. You take, well,
right.
say you do it over 4 years, you do your last final exams over weeks, you have 2 or 3 weeks to which to graduate, and then it's a boring ceremony for 3 hours.
Hmm.
You don't get your
Right,
diploma, pump your fist, and then like
right.
grab
It's not like a wind, and it's not like you accomplished 2 hours. And
the emotion gets dispersed over a much longer time frame for most things in real
right.
life.
Yep.
Movies need to convey that emotion in 3 seconds of a 2 hour
Right.
lifespan.
Yeah.
I just
Right.
acclimate to it so I don't get upset or particularly overjoyed.
Mm. Okay. Well,
I'm just saying,
it's fair. It's
that's
fair, I
me.
suppose. Yeah. Okay.
Somebody will catch like a little picture of me just like weeping at like my
Mm.
daughter's dance recital or something soon. Be like,
Yeah.
yeah, approved it. He's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are
Hmm.
you hearing any changes to, or rather, not hearing any changes? I'm saying like weather wise, is it cold up there now? Are you
Oh yeah.
adapting to
Yeah. So,
that and just
so
like you got that brisk air and stuff?
literally today
Hmm.
was like the switch.
Yeah.
Um, so it went from I want to say like high 70s to like low 60s as the
Hmm.
high. Like the fall has fallen. It is definitely this morning. I think it was 33 degrees when we woke up this morning. Like it was
Ooh,
cold.
baby.
Yeah, like there was frost on the ground. Like it definitely like a little cold front came through, and it is officially sweatshirt fall football chilly weather. Like it is definitely like it definitely changed, and all the leaves are changing and falling off the trees and whatnot. Like it in a matter of like literally a day. And yeah, today was like everybody was like talking about it. Like, ooh, that crisp chill air is like in the air. Like you woke up this morning, you could see your breath. Like it was there. So yeah, it's marking on the
The
calendars
pumpkin
today.
spice
Was
latte.
I'm not a big pumpkin spice guy. I'm more of an apple guy for a fall flavor. I would take apple over pumpkin. Like apple cider over pumpkin, whatever, anything.
I probably would
No,
as
like
well.
yeah,
I
apple
agree.
cider donuts, apple
Apple cider
cider.
donuts are where it's at. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
apple cider. So yeah, so apple cider donuts. We growing up we had place in Colts Neck, and those were really good. And it's hard to find good apple cider donuts in places like yeah, like there's a place around here that's like the fall festival place. Like there's like apple orchards and they have like a bunch of pumpkins and they have like all the fall festivities. Like it's like a kind of a fall amusement park almost, if you will. And that's like the place that everybody goes to. And so you can buy like, apple cider donuts and apple this and pumpkin that and whatever. And my wife went and she picked up some apple cider donuts and they were like dry and terrible. And I'm like, this sucks. Like these are terrible. This is not good quality.
I-
And they charge normally for it. So
I'll say this, like we are Jersey boys at heart, and apple cider donuts are this odd, like bl dark horse under the radar item in the vein
yeah,
of bagels and
yes,
pork roll
yes,
and that pizza, like that whole vein.
yeah,
It it,
yeah.
it
It is. It's one of those things like, yeah, you don't realize it until you're like, oh man, these suck.
right, right. The imitations do not live up to the hype of
Yeah.
it. I've never had better ones. I will say that. I've had ones that were about on par,
Mhm.
but they all were homemade or very
Right, right.
fresh right out of the oven type of deal, you know? They were like we're
Yeah.
putting on their best faces to get that shit done.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
We will be doing our pumpkin picking. I'm gonna make an attempt to elevate. We were a paint the pumpkin family.
Oh, are you gonna be a carve the pumpkin family now?
I'm gonna attempt to carve the pumpkin this year.
Are
Put
you
the
gonna have both of those?
bell,
Are you gonna use?
yeah. I'm gonna put the little light in there to like have it. Yes, I'm gonna make an attempt at that because I think
Okay.
with the kids are getting a little older now, and it's
Mhm.
sort of they might want to give it a go and try it for real, getting the
Yeah.
pumpkin seed guts out of it. I think they might
Yeah.
give it the old elementary school try to
It's fun.
actually carve the pumpkin.
Yeah. When I lived in my apartment, like I decided I'm gonna carve a pumpkin and put a pumpkin out of it. Like I just that's what I did. I did carve like one pumpkin every year. It was fun. I bought one pumpkin, just cut it out, did it. It was fun. I tried the trick is coming up with what you want to put on it. That's the thing. Like, do you just want to do a face? Do you want to do something, like a picture? What do you want to, like what are you trying to do there?
I hear
And
you. I get it.
are you gonna get a
I
stencil?
we put on a minimum
Freehand?
showing for Halloween. I don't particularly care for Halloween. I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
My
I'm
biggest
not a
issue
huge
for
fan.
my biggest issue with Halloween is that I often misfire on it and pick a costume that's like not really quite like I think it's hilarious, but other people are like, okay, cool, good for you.
Yeah, you
I'm
show
not
up
like the
as
best
Raggedy
at
Ann and
picking like
everybody
an
says Chewbacca.
optimal costume.
Yeah. You show up as Raggedy Ann and everybody shows up as Chewbacca. That's what you do.
That's not that was what's that from? South Park?
South Park. Yeah, that's like one of the first episodes of
One
South
of the
Park
first
where
episodes of South Park where he just Raggedy Ann.
Stan's
Yes.
gonna go to Wendy. We're gonna be
Yeah.
Raggedy Ann,
Maybe
man,
not
and
that
everybody's gonna.
bad. Maybe not that bad, but yeah, it's a little in that vein. Like I kind of just don't quite it's like, oh, this is it's like I call it a Dennis Miller. Do you know who Dennis Miller
Yeah,
is?
yeah,
Dennis Miller is a comedian who was very
yep,
popular in the early 90s, and he even got to be a host of Monday Night Football briefly. The problem is
yes,
that his humor was very cerebral, it was very highbrow, it was very like
mhm,
over people's heads at times.
right,
Not because your average person isn't intelligent, it's that his particular humor was way too idiosyncratic and
mhm,
nuanced that there'd be too small of an audience. He'd
right,
make cracks about like the Magna Carta.
yeah,
It's like
right,
you have a limited audience who are going to appreciate a Magna Carta
yeah,
joke.
yeah. Time and place. Like the
Right,
Monday Night Football
exactly.
crowd is not talking Magna Carta.
Right. So I will sometimes misfire on that and I will pull like a Dennis Miller where it's like this is like people don't get it. Like I picked the
That,
wrong
that's a
audience.
good description of something like that. Pulling a Dennis Miller. That is a very apt description of like Okay, yeah, it makes sense, and it's for a certain crowd.
It's like
You
for like
get it.
13 people, this is
Yeah,
hilarious,
yeah,
but
exactly.
for
It's not for the
for
general
the other for
population.
the
It's
other
for those 13
10,000 who
people.
are witnessing it, they think you're just an asshole. That's really what
They,
that
or
that's really what
they just
happens
don't
there.
get. You're just white noise. They just don't get it. They're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Right.
So
That's also the
yeah,
other possibility. But yeah, I call that a
yeah,
Dennis Miller move. Some of the references in like the Substacks, I'd be like, oh, that's a little Dennis Millery. Like I
yeah,
coined the verb. Like it's a little Dennis Millery, but
yeah,
I'm just gonna roll with it because I think it's funny.
yeah. But that's how you find your crowd. That's how you find your people.
Right,
When
right.
you make a joke in a crowd of 25 people and the two people
I'm true to me. I'm true to
exactly.
me. And this
Yeah.
is what I feel.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
how I feel. It's my feelsies.
Good.
Dennis Miller jokes. That's my
So what?
feelsies.
Oh yeah. So what are you going for as Halloween?
So I just played it safe and I got a Where's Waldo costume off Amazon.
Oh,
Um,
nice. I've been Waldo before. Yeah.
yes, because the thought process was the glasses and the hat and even maybe the shirt, if we, roll up the sleeves, could be reused by the kids or by somebody else. It's just sticking. We'll make
Generic
a bit
stock
of
costume.
money's worth
Yeah.
out of it. I
Yeah.
did have the amazing plan of, so have you ever seen the episode of The Simpsons where they pull griffs
Yes.
and
Oh
there's
no, my
a
bar mitzvah gave me.
yes. So they were going, and there's a scene where I'll post a picture of it. There's a Michael Jackson dress up lookalike with
Yes.
marionettes slapped
Yes.
outward on him
Hmm.
to make the Jackson 5, and he has like
Yep.
the things to like, yeah. So I was gonna make one of those, like out of
Hmm.
like a coat rack thing that we had in our garage, which was like whatever. I was gonna make one with, so I'd have two and two, and
Those are hard to make.
we were gonna be the I was gonna be the MTV band together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
Where
plus me
they
equals us.
That's right.
Calculus.
That was the plan. I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
And I like had it all mocked up. Like I had like a blueprint ready for it. And I like showed it to my wife because one of the things I've really learned in life is like I should really run things by her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea.
I've learned that. And she was like, this is really funny because like she and I get it as an inside joke, but nobody else is gonna understand what the fuck you're doing.
No, nobody would get that. No.
And so
So
I
yeah,
was
that
like, fair enough. So I'm like, I'm not gonna like do like the welding to make the bars. And I was like, fair enough.
yeah,
I let it go.
it's a lot of effort for very little payoff.
Exactly. It's like there's an immense amount of effort for something that is going to be cumbersome and no one's going to get. And I was like, fair enough, I get it. So she
So
talked me off the ledge.
yeah, so it's funny you bring that up. So way back when COVID started, my friend was. You ever see the show Taskmasters? Taskmasters. It's like
No.
a British. So basically, what it
I
is
believe you've talked about it on this podcast in the past.
probably.
Sounds
Yeah. But
familiar.
anyway, so the premise of the show is that there's a guy and he basically gives these five comedians like ridiculous tasks to do, and there's always like twists and shit. So my buddy was bored, so he decided to run a open Taskmaster competition on his Facebook, where basically he would just post a video and say, okay, anybody who wants to do this is in for just do this, post a video on it, just something to kill time. So one of the tasks was to post a video to I Want to Dance with Somebody, like that song.
Okay.
Um, so everybody had different versions of how they would interpret that, right? So my idea was to have that what you were talking about, like create one of those dummy things where you want to dance with somebody. So then I created one of those things during COVID, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. It was just it was horribly done. It was really hard to build, and it was just not worth it. So going through all of that effort to be O Town would be the worst idea ever. so, and it wouldn't. I guarantee you, it wouldn't come out good. Nobody would know what you're doing, and you would just be this jerk off walking around, getting in the way of the sidewalk of everybody with these five dolls walking around.
It's not O-Town. It's together.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. O Town was the other band. I'm sorry. O Town was the making the band. Big
Yes, that
difference.
was correct. Yes. That was what it was.
Sorry. I got my late '90s offshoot boy bands mixed up. I'm
It's
sorry that
okay.
I
I don't
yeah.
know. One of the things I wrestle with is some of the hard pivots of this feed writ large, because I'll go 3 solid weeks on some hard finance stuff, and then I'll pivot hard and bitch about like my kid pooping weird, which I
Mm,
think is throwing some
yeah,
of the audience in a loop. I've noticed I have to do some easier transitions between the trader topics and the dad topics. I've been learning that a little bit
yeah,
recently.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, gotta stay a little bit more on brand.
Yeah, like you yourself flinched when I said that, and you're going along for the ride.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So,
we're gonna work on that. I got a lot of things in the works. A little bit of expanding coming around the pipeline in the Trader Dad's world. I've been curious. A while ago, I thought that I would start giving some tutorials on technical analysis on the YouTube channel. And
mm,
it never came to fruition because it was a real like the risk it was a real like risk reward. Obviously to like do a quality 5 minute tutorial on something would have taken far more time than I had. So I paused the idea. But
right.
I have been starting to wonder whether it's worthwhile to start posting more educational clips on some of the social media feeds that are self-written, self-taught. Because I'll put a lot of stuff up on Instagram that is from others that I think are valid. But I'm a little curious if anyone wants to chime in who's listening, if they think they'd actually be interested in some of me explaining like a topic of something as like an independent video outside of this podcast. I'd be curious. Let me know. I've also seen a lot of uptick. I'm now part of the Reddit community. That's something I've
Mm,
joined just recently. I was never a Reddit guy for years and years and years. I dodged Reddit, never involved. I kind of don't like the way it's built, the way you have to read comments like it's 1992 in an RSS feed. But it is what it is. I have noticed though that I've been able to direct some of the comments and writings very specifically towards groups which seem to appreciate it. So I've seen a real bump in user engagement now that I've started to post on Reddit. So that's another thing that this has actually been growing a little bit, which is kind of fun. The last thing, which may or may not happen, I'm in a pool of eligible guests, so it's plausible. We'll see. It's like I feel like I'm on a dating site all over again. If anyone asks me to join their podcast as a guest, we'll see. I might start to show up in a few places. If I do, I'm definitely going to be reposting that. So we'll see what happens there. Could turn into an
nice.
interesting 2026. We're going to see what happens.
Good. That's exciting.
Yeah.
We should so this is dropping in October, and we've got two more podcasts for 2025. We should for the December podcast, we should come up with our predictions for 2026.
I did not do a predictions in 2025. You're right. I do have to do predictions in 2026. I usually
Yep.
post it, but I had to skip it this year. So
Yeah.
yeah, we
So
can talk. We can plan on that. We can do a little bit of
yeah.
the December. I don't know if we'll have a guest. I currently don't have any guests lined up for November or December. So, but if anyone's interested, reach out. I'm
Yeah.
always happy to have someone on. Yes, we did, when December rolls around, we can definitely talk about what our predictions of 2026 are. We can base it off some of the categories I've talked about in the past. That'll be good. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah. So start thinking about them now. That's
Oh,
the
I think
key.
about it all the time.
I'm sure you do.
Yes.
2026 is gonna be a fun year. Be
2026,
fun.
250th for America and
Hmm.
25th for 9/11.
The big topic, the big event.
The big event. And so I actually was I think I'm gonna have more about it maybe in December, but I'm trying to get a little recurring fundraiser thing going
Hmm.
for the 9/11 like
Yeah.
support funds.
A good
Like we
event.
joke.
Yeah.
I know it's a recurring joke. Like I get it. Like
Yeah.
we because it's the World Financial Center and I used to work there. Like I get
Mhm.
it. It's a fun joke. But I was actually thinking that I have a little bit of a cash flow coming. through this now, and I was thinking about maybe like doing some sort of like persistent like charity for some of the 9/11 things starting next year, which will be 2026, the 25th
Yeah,
anniversary.
25th
So
anniversary.
we're
Yeah,
gonna see how
it's a
that
good idea.
goes. I feel like kind of a goofy guy if I raise like $8 all year, but like
Well,
uh
but it's every you got to start somewhere, and
yeah.
we can
But I'm thinking of like
let's
hitching. I'm thinking of just like hitching it on as just like a persistent thing that just
yeah
exists. Like a little
yeah,
cut of
yeah just
something goes to that. I think that'd be a
casual
cool
thing.
idea.
And,
I don't have a lot of details worked out. It's just preliminary kind of spitballing, but that's something that I've been thinking about tacking on. So we're gonna see what happens.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's have something to kind of just have in the background, just something to
Mhm.
have. It's a
Look,
good idea.
the store generates a real cash flow. So it's like maybe like I don't know, we're gonna say like every time we sell a hat, like 50 cents goes in a jar or something like that. I don't know. We're gonna do something along those lines, perhaps.
Yeah, and we'll have the telethon, and what else can we do?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
It would be
Yeah,
amazing if we like live streamed like 12 dudes with like the like phones and like we did it like it was like 1987. That would be
yeah.
amazing.
It's one of those things where like it's tough because like it's a delicate situation. Like you can't really have like the 9/11 Memorial Fun Run, like you know, it's like it's not it's a pretty somber thing to try to raise money for. Normally where you're trying to raise money, you can do like fun events or something like
Because I
that. But
am
having
like
like that
Because I am
somber
like
undertone
playing it
stuff.
straight. Like I am playing this particular thing straight. I was like,
Right.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
we make like we'll joke about it like as just like kind of a reference point in society.
Yeah.
And like I used to walk past the memorial every morning to go to work and stuff. Like I know
Right.
it's there. Like I get
Yeah.
it. Like it's like a
It's,
thing. But I was thinking like, we could do like the a good, that'd be nice if we did that because
yeah. Yeah.
there
Yeah.
are several options that I'm trying to like figure out what I'm gonna do, but I was thinking kick it off next year and just kind of have it as like a little like running tally thing,
Yeah.
to contribute to some of that, whether it be the health funds, scholarship funds, just the remembrance fund. Well, I don't know, we're gonna figure something out, but I think that'd be
Yep.
a good one. Maybe it'd be like
Yeah.
cops and firefighters. I'm not really sure yet, but I think we're gonna try to
Yeah.
do something
Yeah.
like
Like
that. I've been
FDNY.
kicking
Yeah.
around that idea since the summer.
That might be a good idea. Cops and firefighters.
Yeah, it's we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. Okay.
Um,
That sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be a
All right.
promising
What?
2026. Promising 2026.
Promising 2026. We start or 2026. We're like corporation. Like our fiscal year ended September 30th, and now we're way behind on the budget, and then we got to figure it out now for next year. That's our plan.
Yep, that's the plan.
Well, my friend, this was a fast-paced hour. I think we were both a little extra caffeinated, but that's okay. We had a good run. Did you want to
Yep.
close us out with anything for the month?
Closing out anything for the month of October. No, the only thing is get your McDonald's Monopoly pieces. That's what's going on in the world, right?
Okay, that
No,
works. That works.
I, I,
Beyond
I saw
that,
I saw it the other day. I forgot that existed. That was a thing. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing that apparently
there's the whole
used to be
doc
like
on it.
massive.
You have to watch the
Yeah,
McMillions
right.
doc on. I think it's on Netflix, and they explain how it was all a fraud for like the first
Yeah, it was all
5 years.
great. Yeah, that's
Like they
terrible.
were
Yeah,
like
that's
the guy in the factory like pocketed the one rare like piece and
yeah.
gave it to his buddy. It's like a mess.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
the post that I saw was somebody ordered McDonald's on like one of those DoorDash apps or whatever, and the guy who delivered it ripped off his pieces before he gave it to him.
oh yeah, that's another one. I'm sure it's all a
Yeah,
giant mess.
that's
Yes.
terrible. So,
Yes. All right. But so thanks you everybody for listening. We're finishing up this was October expiration. I can't believe we're in October already. I remember doing this a year ago.
yeah,
What do we got? The usuals. We got the Substack that drops every Tuesday. We have Instagram. We have some Reddit presence, which is new. And as always, we have the store, which you can find some new listings every once in a blue moon. And that's about it. So we will see everybody next month. Thank you. Good night.
all right.